How's it going, everybody? I understand you cannot see me at the moment, and that is totally fine. Um, as we get things rolling, if you couldn't already tell, we're off to a late start today for a multitude of reasons, and yeah, um, we're actually this is gonna be a rough start. I'm gonna apologize like over and over and over and over again. Um, Today with us we have a couple of the guys from IVO, and I'm super jazzed to have them on because we don't have too many of our veteran teams joining us for the podcast, which is like super sad in itself. And I would love to have more of them with us. So, any of you guys out there in YouTube land, Instagrams, wherever the hell you might be at the moment, if you're trying to get onto the podcast, just either hit up me or Jacob, and we can get that started. We can make that a thing. We would love to have you, 100%. Yeah. All right. I don't have any event updates from the last time we are in here, so we're just gonna get into it. Gentlemen, would you care to introduce? Would you guys care to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. So I'm PJ, IVO Lunar. I'm the team captain overall for IVO.
So I'm IVO Stumpy. Been playing airsoft since about mid 2017. One of the original founders of IVO as well, and I run mainly the B team for IVO. So
That's what's up, man. The fact that you guys,
have two squads.
yeah,
A and B squad.
I was just about to say, like, the fact that you guys have enough guys for two squads is a fucking feat. It is something to be applauded in itself.
How many team members do you guys have in total? I mean, obviously 10 because you have two squads. Is it just 10 or is it more than 10, like with players that bounce between A and B, or how does that work for you guys? Why is Chris in here? Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay. Oh, well, no. I mean, Chris should be here. I was like, which Chris are you talking about? There's a ton of Chris's.
I thought that was a different Chris for a second, so I was like, what?
There are a ton of Chris's. I call him Skulls. I just call him his call sign because it's easiest.
See, he has the same initial as Chris Lee.
That makes it so much worse.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. I was like, why is he in here? But no, okay, he is 100%. Yes.
Oh, wow. Look at my camera. You can see the top of my head. That's great. Yep. Hey, there I am. That's my face.
We saw the ceiling for a little while. It was quite nice.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Jesus. It's like these teachers, these old teachers getting into their Zoom classes. Like, okay, class. And you can only see their fucking forehead. Jesus, I'm making myself look so old right now. I swear I know how to use technology. I swear I know how to use technology. Hold on, wait, are you guys in the same room?
No.
no.
I just saw the blue lights and I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going over there because I've never used Discord before. But
all right, yeah, that
Wait,
really confused me.
Unmuted. Hold on, I got it.
just repping our colors, you know.
Chris, you can unmute yourself now so you can chat and join yourself. Now gave you permission to talk in the server, so you should be able to join this conversation. All right, so back to the topic because we got sidetracked because Keegan's old. So you guys have
I'm gonna
two
fight
teams,
you.
an A and a B squad. You guys only have 10 members total, or do you have more than 10 members?
Yep. So in total, there's 12 of us.
Okay.
But there's only 11 of us that play comp. So we have 6 on our A team roster and 5 on our B team roster. And then we have one water boy that likes to just play open play and all. Not interested in competing, which is fine. He comes and takes pictures of us and stuff still. So, and he still plays all the time.
You guys should, you know what you should do. I mean, I don't know if you guys have thought of this or already mentioned it maybe, but like you guys should have him come to the competitions to take pictures and videos of you guys playing, so you can get that third party, like that third person point of view, and go back and review things later. Aside from just like looking at the live streams, If you have your own angles and footage that you want, that would be great. Especially for like studying and practicing. If you guys take it that serious, I don't know how you guys operate as a team as far as that goes. But I know our team, we break down footage that we can. We study as much as possible and talk, talk shop on all things competitive
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So I don't know what you guys do as far as that goes. That'd be a dope idea.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We have very limited footage of ourselves so far. We watch other team footage all the time, past comp footage all the time, but our own footage we don't have too much of yet. So that's definitely something we could do with him.
Yeah, and that's definitely a way to like improve as a team too, A and B on both squads, is to be able to see not only like the teams that you're going against to plan for them, but watch what you're doing and see the mistakes you might have made that you could correct later.
Hmm.
Oh, excuse me. All right, so let's see. And Chris, you are on the B team, correct? You're on the B squad, right? With Stumpy. I don't know if you can hear me because he's in public. I'm gonna go with no.
Oh,
Did you hear me, Chris?
a little bit. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
But I'm at a restaurant right now.
Oh no, you're okay.
No, you're good,
We can
dude.
hear you.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
The question I asked you is, I said you're on the B squad with Stumpy, correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, awesome. So you guys have two teams, A and B. How did you guys come about? Like, how did you guys form as a team? Like, what made you decide to make a team, and how'd that come about?
Yeah, so I've been playing airsoft now for about 9 years. I was milsim for 6 or 7 years, and then I took about a year break, and then Ruffles and Stumpy pulled me to TAA for pretty much the first time after that year break, and I just loved it because I was always an outdoor player before. I'd been to TAA once before, years. Then we hit TAA, just the three of us, and I loved it. They dragged me back into it, and I was like, "This is cool," you know. So then the next time we went, I think there was like 6 of us that went.
Yeah.
And that ended up being our first 6. We started a team shortly after that, which was mainly just for open play at first until we heard about the CSL and all that. And
How did you guys hear about it? Who did you hear about it through, or how did you guys hear about the CSL? I know obviously like you met some of us and played with us, but like what was your first, like, if you remember, a conversation or encounter with somebody that mentioned? If you remember. If not, that's cool.
Isaac, do you remember? I just know that we met like people like Lewis and Bert off the bat, and we knew, we saw their jerseys and stuff like that. We were curious.
I know Ruffles. He asks a lot of questions. I know he talks to a lot of you guys all the time.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot of it was from him asking questions and stuff all the time.
We wish he was here right now. He's the talkative one.
Yeah.
He's delayed. He actually asked me if we could push it back to a little bit later. I told him I'd ask, but we weren't able to.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this is where my old age comes in. I'm sleepy by the time you get to 10:15. So if he puts it to 10 o'clock, I guarantee the stream would be going until 7 tomorrow morning, and I'd be like, "Oh damn, we still have it live." Welcome to the Sleeping Podcast.
The Sleepy Pod.
Oh, that'd actually be really funny just to see that accidentally.
Nah, I remember seeing you guys at what was it, the season opener at Robin Hood last year, and Harrison with his bright orange pants on, hell yeah, it was.
The jersey.
Nah, because wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. Was it the navy on top and the orange on bottom, or was it the other way around?
It was a BMX suit or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a full outfit.
Really.
It stuck out, but it was.
But
it was cool.
you guys have come into your own. Like you've definitely seen the progress between day one to now, and how not only with like apparel and whatever, but there's a different type of chemistry between all of you guys as a team, which is pretty cool to watch from the outside, you know?
Agree. I think one of my favorite things at that opener that day is during like the practice like matches that we had in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
was watching Christian, I believe, full send from the breakout wall to the 50 and on the structure we
Yeah.
call the wishbone, because that's a hike. For those of you who didn't play at Robin Hood or haven't seen it, the 50-yard line was almost a good 40 yards away, like legitimately. Like it was not
Yeah.
quite a football size field, but it was a little.
Robin
It was-
Hood's huge.
Yeah,
That field
it was,
in itself is huge.
it was a big haul, and off break without getting shot, he made it all the way there. And I remember me and a couple of other TSA guys were sitting on the sideline, and we all went, "Hold on, the fuck? Did he just really make it to the wishbone off break?" And we're all looking, we're like, "Yeah, he did." We're like, "Okay," so our minds were like, "If he can do it, one of us can definitely do it." And then he did it again, which I think ended up messing up you guys in that tournament, because after he did it once, if he'd have saved it for the actual match instead of doing it twice in the practice runs, you guys would have been a force to reckon with, because that position is such a lethal spot that he was in.
That is exactly what happened. It worked in the practice ones, and then he was the first one out when we came to the actual games.
I think it's because he did it both practice times. I think if he'd just done it once and was like, all right, I can make it here, and then saved it for when y'all really needed or wanted to do it, it would have been a big like, oh shit.
Yo, I don't know. I might have been able to do that like once a match. Not like every game, but like you get me on the first one, and then someone's got to either sub me out or I'm playing in the back. Like, there's no way I'm doing that twice in a row. Not a shot.
The only person on our team conditioned to do that is Ethan. Right?
Yeah. I don't even know if he's got it. Homie's gained
No.
like 30 pounds of muscle. It's so strange.
Yeah.
Either way.
What he needs to do is some explosives training, like like parachute runs, so he can get that speed back, since he's got so much weight on him.
Not really. But for this season, how are things looking for you guys? Are you gonna try to stay local and do events, or are you gonna try to, travel a little further out and see if you can hit some SpeedQB stuff? What's in your schedule for the season?
So, for the near future, I'll say we're gonna hit as many of the CSL events as we can. We're gonna hit pretty much. We're not going to the seating event. We heard about that one a little too late, and can't really afford the Cali trip yet.
Yeah.
Nobody from out here is really going to Cali other than us, as far as I know. I know HSA plans to, but I don't know if they're still going to. And there was one other team that thought about it, aside from you guys. I can't remember who it was. But, yeah, we're not expecting a lot of people to go to the Cali trip. But continue.
Yeah. In the future, we want to do stuff like that, but not yet. So, like, for this next half of the year, I would say the Rhode Island one is going to be our, like, distance trip.
Good.
And then later on, I personally am trying to convince them I really want to go to SS down in Georgia.
I want to go to that.
Yeah.
It's like one of the top-notch fields. It's a big field.
I don't know if you guys have seen or heard, but the one that I really want to get my feet on the floor on is HTK. That field looks fire, and they're like really new. I mean, they've had that built for a little while, but they just opened it for like the public to be able to play on their indoor field. Their indoor field looks super cool as it is, because I don't know if you guys know, their building that they're in is 3 floors. So it's like store and like shooting range and a couple other things on the first floor. And then you go to the second floor and it's their whole public play arena. And then you go up to the third floor and it's their Speed QB field. And that thing is like immaculate. It's super cool. They have traffic lights, but when it's time to like go on the sound of the buzzer as well. I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited to hopefully get to go there this summer, which we might be going to, or we haven't entirely decided.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're on our radar for sure, because we met Harrison McCoy when he came down to Manassas. I was there with Keegan and Harry.
Yeah. when they
Picture.
and they came with their sister too, right? Kate came as well, right? It was
Mhm.
their dad and them too.
It was super cool to meet them from across the country.
Yeah, that was.
That's
I
an
was mad
11
I
or
couldn't go to
12-hour drive.
Yeah,
That's definitely on our radar, but that's after Georgia. After,
yeah, yeah. Because Georgia's a 10-hour drive in and of itself if you drive, if you don't fly.
I mean,
Which
yeah,
isn't
you're
it's
driving
not
like
a
a
bad
grandma, maybe.
yeah, but it's
Hey,
not
let
a
me
bad
stop.
drive. It's really not a bad drive. I've done it. Um,
Yeah, it's not too bad.
it's
SS
just
is
very
really fun.
yeah.
It is like the public play field is huge. I mean, anything that's not Rockville is huge. So there's that. You know,
Yeah.
we I love playing at Rockville. You get a ton of action, but then you start to go to these other fields, and you're like, damn, they got a noise.
But at the
But
same
no,
It's like I got space.
no, really.
and that's how it feels. But I feel like because we're all so used to playing in those tighter, faster spaces, when we get somewhere where it's so open, and then we just like because we're so used to being able to play those tight, fast-paced moments, we play somewhere that's more open. We play a lot better than we're typically used to, right? Because we're used to it, and then the other players at that field have never seen us before. They're like, "Hold up, who are you guys?" And we're like,
Hmm.
and this is just during public play, and we're like, "Oh, yeah, we play in a box about this big, so this is great for us."
Go factor. We bring it.
Right?
We grew up there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only indoor field we really consistently play at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nah,
And
but
that's the case for a lot of us.
And that's why, like, even going to Valhalla, like, that's kind of a hike for practices and comps. But we get so happy that it's, a similar layout but stretched out. That space just adds a different factor, having longer distances.
yeah.
And Robin Hood was crazy, having to run 4 times as far to the
Oh,
next bump.
that was
Uh,
that was. I didn't hate it, but it was very, very different. Like playing on real grass, playing outside, and having to run a lot farther. It was definitely a different experience. The one thing I did think I like about it is that fresh oxygen, and like even if you're sweating, because we happen to get really nice weather days
Yeah.
on the days that we happen to have it. Even though it was kind of cloudy one of them, it was still like nice out, and it was just like you get that fresh oxygen in your lungs, kind of like when you need it, even though you're like outside already and you're exhausted, you just have that fresh like. Even though when you're inside, it just feels stuffy and hot, and you're like, I feel like you can't breathe. Like when you get going, but you don't have to run as far, which is nice. So, um, yeah.
But no,
So
that's exciting that you guys want to get both up
yeah,
north and down south. You know,
yeah,
have been to both fields. You'll like both of them for different reasons, but
I love Extreme. I haven't been to SS yet, so I'm excited for that too.
it's like they're so similar. Their shops
But so different.
almost have the same amount of stuff,
Right.
and the biggest difference is that SS has a designated SPQB field, where Extreme doesn't. But that seems to be kind of changing.
Say Extreme definitely has the space to do it if they want to do it.
Yeah, they're working on getting some bunkers built up. You know, I was there this past weekend, and yeah, they're tearing down some buildings just to make bunkers for us, which is super dope. So I'm happy that you guys are getting up there.
But
I'm
that's
gonna do.
also, I want to make a quick attest to like the community though. That's also the community's like fault in a good way, right? Like the reason that field is willing to tear down what they already have to build for this avenue of the sport is because the community has done what they need to and shown out and shown up at those events when they're being hosted and held
Yeah.
so that we can get the things that we want. You often hear a lot of players bitch, moan, whine, and complain, oh, the field doesn't care about us, they don't want to do this for us, they won't this, that, whatever for Speedsoft, but they'll do this for all the rental public players, yada, yada, yada. People complaining, so on and so forth. But if you show up and you show out like you're supposed to, the field then realizes, hey, there's a market for it. There's people who are actually interested. let's go forth and do this. If you just show out one time and then at the next event there's only one team, then the field's like, there's not really as big a market for this. We don't want to do it. So great job on the community being there and showing out for that to get that done.
Sorry about that.
Besides EA's community and having a EA podcast at this point, I am going to do a quick shout out to the motel we stay at, filling in Sunset Motel. If y'all need a place to stay, go up there. It's kind of wonky, but it's definitely worth it. A really small motel, good price either way. I'll have to share you some stories with you guys about this past weekend off stream about the motel. It'll give you a nice giggle. But regardless, damn, I had like a really good question and now I can't really remember what it was. Doesn't really matter. Is there anything you guys are like itching to try, or any changes you want done to, whether it be like the format, the community, different fields? What do you want? What do you really want right now?
Like out of a field or the league in and of itself, what are you looking for that you're lacking?
Don't say M4 adapters.
No, that wasn't on my mind at all.
To be honest. I was gonna say.
I mean, the shotgun thing is nice, though.
Yeah, the fact that you allow them for shotguns, that is nice. I don't have anything. I don't know about you guys.
I like that there's more fields now, though, that we're going to. Like, I'm excited about that extreme airsoft trip. Like, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy fun. And that's the thing. We understand that not every team can travel. Like we get that. But like, if you're serious enough and this is what you want to do and you want to help grow the sport and be a part of the sport, at some point it's something you kind of have to bite the bullet on. Like, maybe not as the whole team, but as a couple of players, and then pick up people at events, which ultimately sucks because like it's not your squad, your guys. But at the end of the day, if you really love it and you want to do it, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I think one of the things that is nice is like the starting field for the start of the season is then always like having that as a championship field as well. You know, it gets you acclimated to that, and then at the end of the season, when everyone should be at the top of their games, they're already ready for the field. They know what to expect.
Speaking of that statement, I got a question for you guys, and this one can kind of go towards Keegan too. I don't know how you'll feel about this, because it's not something that's necessarily possible, but how would you guys feel about like a championship layout being different than the starting season layout? Same like place, but the layout being different to switch it up so that it's not something that like everybody is already accustomed to and they have to learn new angles and it's fair, but makes it spicier for the championship. How would you guys feel about that? If it could be done.
I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Yeah, I can see it bubbling in Keegan's head.
No, I got some stuff.
Anyone? Yes, no's, hate it, love it.
So I think for the practices that would be fine. So like when we were doing, I guess it's been like 2 Valhalla practices now.
Mm-hmm.
The field's changed a little bit. It hasn't changed like a ton, but changing it up like that, during practices I think it'd be okay. During championships, I don't know. I mean, I'd be open to try it. I'm willing to try anything with airsoft. But
The reason I asked too before Keegan dives into his answer is because I know, not that we're trying to be carbon copies, because we're not. We've already made that abundantly clear. But one of the things SpeedQB does is at any event that they go to, even if the field has already had their setup the way it is and it's working for them, they will come in and change it completely on purpose, not because it's something they like or whatever, but to throw everyone off so that there's no advantage. And that way it's completely fair across the board for every team. And it adds a new perspective to it. So like if like we went to Nashville one time for a SpeedQB event, and the SpeedQB field started one way, we hadn't played on it yet, but then they got there, completely changed it different and made it a little different for the actual tournament. Played on it for that tournament, so on and so forth. And then I know they do that at every event they go to. They typically manipulate it, but I'm asking because it's like if you played in the start of the season with one format layout, and then the championship comes around, same field, but the format layout is a little different, so it's different across the board for everyone. How would you guys feel about that? Yes or no? I mean, Stumpy, you kind of gave your opinion on it, but that's the reason I asked that question. If you guys don't have anything else to say, I'll let you go too.
Man, I think it's fine. I like keeping things interesting.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try, and that's why we travel to different fields is for different layouts. So being able to do it at the same fields, just changing the layout, it adds something.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work that goes into it, which is why I said it's something that might be possible, that might not be. I mean, Anders is a great guy and is really willing to work with people, so that's awesome. But then again, there comes in the funds and building and having the time to actually do that and make it happen. But that aside, I just thought I'd poke the bear and ask the question. But Keegan, go ahead, give your thoughts, concerns, questions, issues.
It's not necessarily an issue per se. I mean, some of the guys in the chat have also. It's gone kind of either way. You know, I do think like it throws a wrench in the whole situation when you change the layout. But at the same time, like if everyone's getting the same wrench, like fix your problem. You know what I mean? That's a terrible analogy, and I apologize. I will neither confirm nor deny that there may be a change coming to that field for the championship. Nothing groundbreaking or anything of that nature. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I could go either way. The one question I have to build off of that, though, is, do you think there should be like a standard format for fields? So like, let's say every single field that we had a tournament at had to at least be 100 feet long and 55 feet wide. Like, if your field doesn't meet those requirements, then we can't host an event there. How do you guys feel about that?
Y'all want? I can go first. If not, y'all can go first.
You're going last.
Yeah.
No, personally, I love the variety. Like I already said, that's why we travel to some of these different fields.
Yeah.
And like, I did like, kind of like Jacob said earlier, I like the distances being different, like at Robin Hood compared.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a huge fan of it being an outdoor field in general, for a Speedsoft event, and then the championship being an outdoor field. But that's just my personal opinion.
What you got, Stumpy?
Yeah, kind of going along with what he said. I'm not a huge fan of the outdoor fields. Usually, if they're going to pop up in the season, I'm probably going to avoid going to them. I'm not huge on outdoor. Kind of moved away from that after we stopped playing there, and I mean it's not a problem, but and yeah, and honestly, every field kind of being the same size, I think it's kind of too cookie cutter, and everything is going to be the same then, and that'll definitely get boring. So I think keeping the field sizes. I mean, I think there should be a minimum size, like anything. If it's going to be smaller than Rockville, like Rockville is pretty.
Yeah, that's the smallest.
Pretty small on the Speed QB field size, but.
So, you actually took the words right out of my mouth. Having every field. Yeah, shut up. Having every field be the same size, but not exactly the same layout, keeps it still interesting and not as cookie cutter as you might think. The only reason I brought this up is
losing my shit.
Okay.
I want to talk. No, I'm just kidding.
Jacob, this will probably actually go with some of the points you have anyways, but the reason why I bring it up is there's been talk on a very, very large scale when it comes to events and producers, and there being one general format or size requirement for fields to make our sport grow in a much more professional way. But yeah, I figured I'd just pose the question.
So my answer to this question, or my
So,
rebuttal-
anyways,
hey. No, I think along kind of like what you just said with the professionalism, if the sport's going to take itself there, I think it would have to be a width and length. Yes, there would have to be a standard size, but format as in layout with structures, I don't think should be like, generic cookie cutter same at every field. I think adding those different angles and layouts like you see in SpeedQB tournaments or at HTK or at SS when they switch things up, or at ours when we do it at the CSL, because EA is not going to be the same as Valhalla, and Valhalla is not going to be the same as Rockville. Having those different angles and layouts makes the gameplay more interesting, and it makes mental capacity of the game and of the sport stay unique. Because if it's the same cookie cutter layout each time, the mental game becomes, okay, how can I just take this angle and just continue to just make this angle work?
yeah,
And there's no like actual chess movement, like, okay, this field's different, how are we going to attack this, how are we going to game plan for this field as a team? It becomes the same thing, right? Just like if you think about it in football has the same size field, but the plays can change things drastically. You can run the ball, you can throw the ball, you could flea flicker, you can come up with all these trick plays. The mental game of it is different. The field layout is the same,
yeah.
but the mental capacity of
I
things changes.
I think about it more like baseball stadiums, and I know I've made this reference before, so whatever. But every baseball field has a diamond. It's always 90 feet to first base, and 60 feet to the pitcher's mound. But you have different stadiums with different features and specific details and all that other jazz. Without getting too boring. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. And I'm if we lived in a perfect world and we could pull it off, like hell yeah, let's fucking go for it. Every field gets to have like 30K and everyone can have 70 players every day, and you have a designated freaking field for just tournament play. Like that's awesome.
That would be
But
sweet.
there's no way in hell that's happening within the next 4 or 5 years. Not a shot. And speaking of,
Never say never.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. And I'm only going to say this because look at what happened in Europe, right? Look at what happened in Europe. Look at what is it? What's the name of their Real Strike Arena? Look at Real Strike Arena. And they're planning on making a second one of those, and I'm pretty sure if I heard correctly, it's supposed to be U.S. based.
they actually already have a. No, you wrong. Tell you that right now.
Okay, that's fine.
But they have a second field in Australia.
They do have 2 fields. I know that. Yeah. Either way, what I was getting at is you say not in the next 5 years that's not happening, but it very well could. It just takes the right owners.
Yeah, I would find it hard. I would find it really hard.
It's going to be very difficult, but it can happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
I guess. I don't know.
I choose to remain optimistic rather than realistic sometimes. So.
Yeah, I'm pessimistic. We're the opposite. You're the talker. I'm the quiet one.
This is why we complement each other so
exactly. Where do you guys see the team? Within the next couple of years, do you? Oh God, it sounds awful. Like, do you think you'll still be a team? Do you still think you'll be competing? Where do you see yourself?
Do you see yourself traveling more if you stay together?
I definitely still see us as a team, and I do probably see us traveling more. Just because right now we've had some younger guys. At the moment, our like general age range are younger.
I was gonna say a lot of your team is fairly young too. Like we got to remember that IVO's got some guys on. Who's the oldest on your team other than Chris? I'm pretty sure Chris is the oldest. Right?
Yeah, because I'm like, oh no, I'm the old one.
Brian is the oldest, I believe.
Okay.
And Fitzy's only like what, like 20?
Yeah.
So
like
aside from Chris, it goes down to Fitzy, and Fitzy's like 20. So like if you take away Chris, Fitzy being the oldest guy on your team, that is a very young team.
Yeah, our newest player team.
Because I know our entire team, everyone is in their 20s.
Hey, look,
Except
I plan
for-
on being the Ryan Greenspan of Airsoft, okay? I'm going to play until I'm 45 and then retire with like 3 world championships. I'm just saying.
Hey, Brian's pushing it on our team. He's 37, so.
You've got me.
Jeez.
Bert's what? 30 what? 32, I think?
31.
31. Sorry, Bert, I didn't mean to give you an extra age number.
Doesn't matter at this point. You all refer to us as old man, so it's okay.
Well,
You're the older John.
Time out. The reason we do for you is because you act like a father. Quite
Look,
Why you're
someone's
making-
got to whip you all. Let me tell you, okay? I'm going to give you some inner dynamics of TSA, all right? If I don't initiate the conversation of getting something planned, you know what happens? Not a damn thing. They
Nothing
sit
gets
on their
done.
ass and they're like, oh, wait, don't we have an event next week? Did we register? No, you fucking didn't because you're lazy and you didn't want to do it. That's what happens. Don't try and call me out for being the real pops. I know what I am. I know what I am for this team. God damn it, get me all emotional and shit. The flawless technique. The team from New Jersey had asked about how many members you guys had. The answer is 12. A fuck ton is the politically correct measurement here.
And that actually happened in the first place because, like I said, we had our original 6 that were just an open play team,
Mhm.
and because we didn't know about CSL or anything yet, and we didn't know about 5v5s, I think we took on Christian and Brian or something like that. We took on 2 more, and then at that point we felt like we had too many for 1 competitive team and not enough for 2 because we were sitting at 8 or 9 people,
Yeah.
and I wanted everybody to get to play. So now that's our goal for.
You and I sound alike in that scenario.
Yeah.
Because so like just a little insight to us. We have 8, and I often start or play a lot of the day because nobody on our team is really small enough to play Snake in at all the events, other than Keegan and Ethan.
Thank you. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I was getting there. Ethan, who's gotten a little bit bigger, so he's not as comfortable playing in there anymore, respectfully so. That leaves Keegan as the other smaller person, in size-wise, not comfortability-wise, but playing in the Snake.
Nah,
And-
comfortability wise too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
that's my
anyway.
spot now. I'm just saying.
Okay. Anyway, so what I was getting at is, fuck, you made me lose my train of thought.
Was
if
it that
Keegan doesn't
Ethan's
play,
built like
Keegan
a
doesn't-
house?
Keegan doesn't play in the CSL event, so it leaves just me. But I often
Yeah, sad
feel like
times.
when I play too much, I feel bad because I'm like, other players have been sitting for multiple games and haven't played, and they came to play just as much as we did. So I'm like, you want to hop on? Like I'll step off and like whatever, and we don't have enough for 2 teams so that they can play on a second squad. So although our team chemistry is great, everybody's very like open to sitting on the bench or
Yeah.
playing. Everybody's really, really good about it. But like mentally as a person and knowing how I am, I'm like, you want your participation trophy too? Like you want to get in like. But I know at the same time we're all like, nah, we're competitors. Like if you're not playing and you're not up to par today, sit your ass on the bench. Like sorry, which benched you for a reason.
Totally random, not even closely related to what we're talking about at the moment. How would you guys feel about a player award for best drip?
Look, my vote's no. I know we gently, but anyway.
So this has
isn't a fucking
become
fashion show.
a reoccurring topic with me, Bert, and Vinny about who's got the best drip in the CSL. And Bert's hellbent on getting this off the ground. So don't be surprised if you get a DM from him on Instagram about, who's got the best drip or announcing that he's going to be, spearheading a best drip award for 2022. Just saying. If you guys want to get in, you better start. Jacob's face is frozen. If anyone's here, can you clip this, please? Well, his absolute confused face. I need this. This needs to be
I got it.
a CSL fucking emoji. This right here. It's like, what? Bitch, what?
Weekly. Screenshot of the last one too. Last time.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, Captain America, if you're in here right now, homie hooked us up last week. You gotta do it again. I need your help, please. Well, while Jacob is frozen, you know what? Holy shit! It's 9:04. We also started late. Yeah, crazy, right? What do you guys get to hang out with each other like outside of airsoft related things? I'm sure don't you, like all of you work at the same place or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Lunar, definitely a lot of the times hanging out, just random ass shit throughout the week. They'll just be like, "Hey, I'm coming over to your house." I'm like, "Okay, you live an hour away. Have fun driving."
Yeah.
And
So
he's
for those that
he's like,
don't know,
yeah.
we have a majority of us are in Maryland, and there's 6 or 7 of us that are specifically in the same neighborhood in Maryland. But then we have Isaac and Jeremiah are 2 of our Pennsylvania guys, and then Fitzy's our Virginia guy. So we don't always all get to hang out at the same time, but we've done movie nights and stuff like that before. We've done some backyard airsoft stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those of us that live closer together just do whatever, because a lot of us started off as friends first, and airsoft was just like something we do on weekends.
That's cool, man. Like, I know with us, like, we're so spread out around Maryland, and then on top of that, since we do have a older demographic, we don't get to, meet up outside of, welcome back, outside of...
It's hard for no reason.
But yeah, we don't get to hang out outside of airsoft as much. So it's like every time we meet, because every time we touch, I get this feeling.
All right, the whole group now. Ready?
No, honestly, watch. Since we sang like 2 seconds of that, I'm gonna get demonetized. It's great. But yeah, we don't get to hang out like that. That's why I like the trips we take. Just be like, it was me, Burton, and Brett this past weekend, and a 6-hour drive does something to you, you know? Like, you just go a little bit insane, and then everything sounds funny. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But that's cool. You drive an hour. I mean, that's commitment right there. If you can't call him a friend, then, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe boyfriend. I mean, what? No denying. All right, cool, great. Anyways.
No, definitely not. Anyway.
Don't even start. Don't even.
On that one.
So, where are you guys playing the most right now?
Rockville.
I'm mostly at
Rockville.
Rockville.
Still making the trip to Rockville.
So we were on a rotation for a while because I plan open play days for us.
Yeah.
And then win competitions, scrims, events like the RGK stuff, whatever comes up. Just we put open play days around those or whatever. But we were trying to do a rotation of Rockville and Manassas and East Coast. But it was definitely the easiest for us to all do that.
Hey, PJ?
Yeah.
Maybe it's your phone that's a little too far, or maybe you're talking too softly, but you start to cut out every once in a while, and I would love to hear your beautiful voice.
Basically, what he's saying is speak with your chest, son.
All right, look, I did not say that.
I got you.
But no, I mean, that's cool that you guys have been able to kind of do a rotation between fields.
I still have yet to get to East Coast. I want to go there too. I just have
Me
yet
too.
to go play there. Which Pops, we should all just plan a team day to go there sometime.
Yeah, when you say team day, you mean everyone but me, right?
No, you can come.
Not that I don't want to go. That sounded really bad. Hey Matt, if you're listening, that is nothing against the field. I've already been there twice. All right, I'm
Wait,
just
hold
saying.
up. You went?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you went once because you went with Chris and someone else, right?
I've gone with Vinny. Chris hasn't gone with me yet.
Oh, okay.
Actually, both of them have been with Vinny.
Oh,
Yeah, I was there with you and Vinny.
Yeah.
damn.
Being
I knew
a
about the
a
one. I
weird
didn't know you went
boy.
twice.
Not really. I'm just kidding. Don't hurt me. I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Cap, thank you, Captain America. You already did it. Got me that screenshot. Appreciate it.
Oh, you guys been screenshotting my shit when it goes out. I'm just not gonna participate anymore.
I'm gonna start working on this emoji real quick. Hold on.
So this season you guys are somewhat traveling because you said you're gonna go up to Rhode Island, and then the rest of the events are local because they're obviously at TAA and Valhalla. I wouldn't really call Valhalla local, but you know, it's close enough to where it's not super far of a drive. At least for competing, and not in the practice sense, but just competing. Which event, if any, are you most excited for or looking forward to?
For me, it's Rhode Island. It's just gonna be another
Just say
road trip, another bonding experience, a completely different field. I would say it's probably the most drastically different than what we've played so far,
Yeah.
besides like Robin Hood. So that's my answer.
and that store too. Can't wait to pick up some stuff there.
I'm low-key bummed, speaking of the store, though, because Keegan went up there and was going to pick up some things for us and me. And the one piece that I needed that they had when I was there a long time ago, they had, and now they don't have, and I'm freaking irritated. But it is what it is. Yeah, their store is pretty awesome. You can literally build a gun part for part there if you really wanted to. It's pretty dope. But the experience of going to these different fields is what I like the most. Is like from being a person who works at a field, seeing how other places operate and execute their day and their public play and their events and how they go about things and their staff, just everything fascinates me because it's like that ultimately is what creates that player experience. So seeing how other fields do things from a third person point of view is kind of cool. And it's like, what do we do wrong at ours that they do right that we could emulate, and so on and so forth.
Sorry, I was actually editing that.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like grab it and localize your face because we got the whole CS logo back there. Ain't nobody care about that shit. Sorry. Anyways, we're hitting the hour mark right now. I love having you guys on here. I wish you guys easily the best of luck, and this year's gonna be good.
Fuck you, we're stopping your shit. Bye. Just kidding.
Anyways, bing bong. I am excited to see you guys play. You know, being the one person who's been able to play against you and then, you know, watch you from the sidelines. It's a different experience altogether. If you guys, well, actually, don't just be a spectator. It's not as fun. Definitely play, but I'm really excited to see how you guys do this season. I think you're gonna make a bit of a splash in the scene, and I can't wait for you guys to have a couple of upsets. I think it'll be really dope. Before we get out of here, I want to say thank you, obviously, to our sponsors who, make a lot of this possible. Just with general shenanigans, dealing with me as a whole, because it's not always easy. So take One Airsoft, Loco Airsoft, Vendetta Speedsoft, and Blowback Masters, which, by the way, you're going to be seeing a post from me pretty soon about Blowback Masters, considering I just got one of my bucket list slides from them. It's actually hidden on their website. I'm not giving any other information away, but super stoked about that. And then this weekend coming up, if any of you are in the Maryland and Virginia area, you need to be hitting up both locations on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, Random Guy Kev is coming back with his Airsofting with Friends at Tactical Airsoft Arena Manassas.
Both locations.
And then Sunday we'll be at Rockville. I might have a food truck coming to Rockville. Sorry, Manassas.
For those of you who just didn't hear the little bit of bias in Keegan's voice when he made the announcement, he said, Manassas, and then Rockville.
And then Rockville. No.
And we're getting
You'll
a food
see
truck
it
in
both of those.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of.
Hey, look, man, I got to show my boys some love. That's all it is. That's all it is. I may or may not be there. I don't actually know at the moment. Hopefully, I will be there and show some love. Anyways, this has dragged on way too long. Actually, you know what? Because one of you guys mentioned it the last time and asked where my my outro music is. You know, we're gonna do this real
And
quick
please be
because.
Cina's theme song.
Burn.
Yeah, that is your outro. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be great. But it's not actually. We all get some little funky tunes before we get going. Is there anything you guys want to say before we actually give our official goodbye, sayonara, sign off from the podcast?
Last minute questions, send them in.
Nah, that's fine. Fuck it.
No, I'm looking forward to competing against you guys this season before we tip out and going up against you guys. I hope to see you guys grow and do really well. And like Keegan said, make a surprise in this season for some people. That would be dope to see. As long as it's losing to us in the championship, you know, I'm okay with that.
We'll see about that.
I'm sorry, B team's taking it this year.
Yeah. Last year was all over the place for us, but this year we're refining stuff. And we're looking to show up.
Nice. I look forward to it. Whoever I meet in the snake, just know it's this game.
All right, we are gonna get out of here. Again,
Oh wait, we got a question before Shiloh
this-
dropped it in last minute.
Of course, Shiloh, last minute, just like the Animosity Boys do. A question. It's up to you guys how you want to answer this. You can say yourselves if you want. He said, "Who's the most threat this year? Who's the biggest threat?"
For you guys personally or in general, who do you think? It could be either one.
I'll just go based off of who we played last season. We haven't beat TSA yet, and we haven't beat Animosity yet. So those are the two that we're trying to beat somebody this season. We'll see.
Definitely, I've been trying to gun against Lewis. I've been keeping up with him and how fast he shoots. So that's mainly my role in the field, is just putting down that suppressive fire. So hopefully, if I can keep up with him, I think B team stands a good chance against Animosity this year.
That's you, Chris. Who do you think is y'all's biggest threat? Or the biggest threat this season?
Man, it's definitely TSA, the champions.
Squad. Hey, Jacob. You got the left hand, I got the right. All right. Sorry. All right. This is actually the most I've ever heard this song. I know you guys can't hear it, but I can. It's been playing this whole time.
Before you end, Keegan, who do you think is the biggest threat this season?
Biggest threat this season. Y'all may disagree, but I'm gonna say Murder Inc. this year is gonna turn some fucking heads. I had the pleasure of playing with one of their prospects this past weekend, and boys got some skill. So you're gonna see a different type of team come from them. That's for damn sure.
For those of you who don't know who Murder Inc. is yet by this point, it is formerly Wasted Potential, but they are now Murder Inc.
Right, and if you want to learn more about them, we had a podcast with them earlier, so you can head to the CSL post-season podcast, the PSP, up in this bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too excited. All right, for real, this time it's been like 4 or 5 minutes, but thank you again. I'll catch you guys next week. We have the Syndicate Union from California joining us next week.